Hi, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We have a great show for you today. Later, we're going to learn a little bit about United Madison, a movement that you're going to want to stick around to hear about. We're also going to check in with the medicine shop and find out what you can do this season to beat the cold and flu. And right now, we're chatting with our news partner. This is Andrea Hughes. She's with Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corporation, also known as WWBIC, and helping lots of businesses in the community. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
I'm excited to chat with you today. So we're talking a little bit about hiring. And boy, it's so hard to know when you are a small business owner when to kind of take that leap and get some help. What do you recommend in terms of hiring your first employee?
Well, I think first of all, how do you know when to do it? So some of the indicators are, for example, if you're turning down business, you start to track that and you're like, maybe it's time. Another indicator may be the fact that you have a new business initiative. So that would be obvious time to do it. And then one different one is when you're seeing a lot of complaints, all of a sudden the quality of the work isn't happening. So maybe you're realizing at this point, then that's the time we need to bring in support staff or whatever to bring that quality back up and make sure you're treating your customers the way you want them to be treated.
Great tips. Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that your quality is there. If you're rushing through, it might be a sign.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the difference between an employee or an independent contractor, and how do you know what's right for you?
Yeah, that one's confusing. I mean, you can utilize both types. I would recommend going out on the workforce development website. There's 9 indicators, but basically it has to do, with the fact that the employee has some responsibilities in terms of paying their federal taxes. The independent contractor does not. They're more like a business person. So they would handle their own expenses. They would handle even sometimes the equipment that they have. And when you're hiring that person, and they do that same type of job for other people. So if you're an employer and you're trying to decide which one fits best for you, I'd look at that workforce development website for those 9 indicators.
Wonderful. Another great resource is you have a class coming up. Now this class is on HR. It's an HR 101. I think that's so smart because people so need that. So you have the opportunity to sort of avoid common mistakes, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit more.
So that's this Saturday. It's at 9 o'clock this Saturday. And we're going to go over everything. Just, how do you fill out the paper to begin with to make sure that you're verifying who the person is? Setting up job descriptions. That's one of the big keys is get it in there right. Then talking about just where do you put some of these? Where do you interview? Where do you put them out on LinkedIn, or how do you do that? So it covers the gamut from the rules and regulations to the subtleties of interviewing questions and things like that.
Yeah, so smart. I mean, if you misstep, you might get the wrong type of employee or the wrong applicant. Or there's a variety of things that really could go wrong or not be as good as they could be. One of the things I wanted to touch on before we head out is there's some people say that there's a little bit of a labor shortage. I've actually heard lots of small businesses talk about the difficulty in finding help. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's true. We've had a lot of trouble with that. That's probably the number one issue right now. And people are looking for everything. You got to be creative, first of all, and when you're looking, put it on Facebook. Utilize your staff and give them maybe a bonus if they bring in a referral. Other aspects of it when you're hiring, make sure that you check payscale.com so that you have the right rate, so that you're not below market or way above market. And then you got to be flexible. People are looking for a lot of different things. The same package may not fit for every employee.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you mentioned, along the same lines of employment is, and one of the things I'm sure you'll cover more thoroughly in your class, is where to post when you're hiring. So can you give us sort of a rule of thumb or a couple basic ideas?
Well, again, it's just like you got to post the target market where you're looking for. So if you're looking for some high-tech things, obviously you go to the universities and go right to the departments. Build some relationships there.
Great idea.
If you're looking for even the chambers, that's another thing. Chambers all have newsletters, and if you're a member of a chamber, you can put it in there. So then again, you're kind of knowing who's looking at it, and you find that target market. So I think just being a little more creative than the usual just posting it in one spot. You got to really work for it.
I love the idea of going straight to the source. That's so smart. You know that these people are going to be out of school soon and looking for work and specifically trained.
Great
idea. If you had one tip for somebody who's hiring, what would that be? Final thoughts.
I think it would be to hire slow and fire fast.
Wow, great, great advice.
Yeah.
But that's true. You want to get the right person in there. But
That's
hey,
right.
if it's not working, save yourself some time.
Exactly.
You bet. Well,
Yeah.
great thoughts and words. Again, this is Andrea Hughes with WWBIC, Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corporation, a wonderful resource. Don't forget to check out the class this Saturday if you're interested in learning more about how the class can help you with HR. Thanks for being here, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We've got more Talk of the Town coming up after the break.
Every business has a story to be told. WWBIC helps you write that story. Starting, operating, and succeeding at one's own business is the ultimate prize. WWBIC is here to help you win that prize. Driving innovation, building assets, growing communities statewide. WWBIC stands for Small Business Success in Wisconsin, offering microloans, small business loans, and matched savings accounts. Reach out to the initiative that belongs to you, to Wisconsin, to small business. Reach out to WWBIC, putting dreams to work.